I'm filming 2 videos about asexuality in one go, so like the other one will probably go up before this, but I just want to point out, if it doesn't, that I'm wearing a shirt. It says I only bang drums because I'm asexual and I play drums, and it's like a pun on like banging and like banging, you know, you get it? Oh my god. When I found out what asexuality was, I was like, oh my god, that's me. That explains so much. And it was awesome because for a couple years I've been having this crisis where I didn't know what my sexuality was. I'm sure a lot of people have been there when they start having feelings for people of the same gender, but it was a little different for me because I wasn't having feelings for anyone. I remember asking my mom, like, how do you know if you have a crush on someone? And she was like, oh, you'll know. You'll look at one of your friends one day and you'll get this feeling in your chest. And of course that didn't really help me. I started examining my relationships with all of my friends of any gender and was trying to figure out if I liked them or if I liked them. At the end of my freshman year, maybe my sophomore year, I sort of came out. Like pretty much right away after I knew. It's just that the thing was, it didn't really seem like a change to me. It's kind of hard to explain. It's not like I was going to start dating girls or something. I was just going to continue to date no one. So it didn't feel like something I had to make a big deal out of. When I came out to my friends at school, I just sort of acted like I was already out. At one point later on, my friend told me that when she found out it was also casual, that she figured she was supposed to know and she just went along with it, which was exactly my plan. During my sophomore year of high school, this boy from a nearby school committed suicide because he was bullied horribly for being bisexual. So our GSA decided to do this like anti-bullying video where we all held up signs that said like our sexuality or our religion or whatever, and then we say like, I sit behind you in math, or we're on the same bus or something, to be like, don't judge people. I don't really, there was more of the video. The point was, all anti-bullying campaigns to me seem like way too timid, so I'm like, I don't even know what the point was. The point of this conversation is that my sign said I was asexual. And this video was shown to like the whole school, so I was out. There were definitely people who didn't know what it meant. Like, I remember having a conversation about it with my English teacher, and that was a good conversation, whereas also there were not so good ones. Like, there's this one boy who asked if I was attracted to objects, and then on a separate occasion told me not to give up looking for the right person. So, now all of that was just school, and I came out to my sister the same way as I did with my friends, and at this point I was just living with my mom, so I decided to bring it up over dinner. But I just got out, and I realized I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a speech or really any idea what I was going to say. So I just kind of let the so hang in the air, like maybe she didn't hear it, but she did, and she was like, so, and I told her I was asexual and she didn't get it. I only vaguely remember the conversation. I like remember she was like, oh, what about your crush on your friend? Because I had told her about my like sexuality crisis, which might have been relieving at the time, but was maybe not my best idea in retrospect. I will get back to that later. And I was like, yeah, I said I maybe have a crush on my friend, but I can't tell. And anyway, this part's a little cringy now, but I kept being like, I could still date, which is true in general. I mean, you can be asexual and be romantic. I just don't know why I thought I was and why I kept insisting that I could be. It really bugs me now that I was like that, because even though I found out I was asexual, it was such a relief. I still wanted to be normal, I guess. I always figured I could date someone, it would just have to be low-key and I'd be fine, until I got the opportunity to date someone and I kind of freaked out. But anyway, my mom kept saying that I was just a late bloomer and I was going to find someone who was going to rock my world, and I kept saying that I could date someone, but she's missing the point, and it just could have gone better. I ended up making her a PowerPoint explaining asexuality in more detail, and it only helped a little, but she's come around since then. I think she mostly gets it now. As a result, though, I never came out to my dad. Like, right now, my dad doesn't know I'm asexual. I'm gonna take a quick foray here and talk about how, before I came out, everyone thought I was a lesbian. Like, everyone thought I was a lesbian. Most of my friends would just like ask each other on the down low, like, do you know if Allie's gay or not, or do you know what she is? And then like later on they would tell me about this. And other friends, 2 in particular, both gay men themselves, would straight up be like, you are a lesbian. There was this one time in GSA in my freshman year, when a couple of people left the room to get something, and I made what was intended as an innocent observation that normally there are more gay people than straight people in the club, or vice versa, but when those few people left the room, the balance had shifted. And the girl I was talking to, like, cared about this more than I did, and she tried to get a count of the gay versus straight people in the room, so she was like, raise your hand if you're straight. And oh my gosh. Now I was still having that crisis where I didn't know what I was, so I was just kind of like, and my one friend just goes, put your hand down! And I was like, so I had told my mom I thought I might be gay when I wasn't sure. And she ended up telling my dad this, I think during a fight, and he was like, well, tell her she's not. And this is going to obviously paint my dad in a very negative light, but please bear with me. So I didn't know about this for a long time, but it kind of makes sense because I'm pretty sure that my dad thinks I might be gay. And he tries to be supportive and stuff, which is cool, except I'm not gay. There was this one time a few years ago when he said we should move to Montana or the Dakotas or something because they found a bunch of oil or whatever out there and the economy was going to be great. And this was before same-sex marriage was legal throughout the country. So I said I didn't want to move to Montana because we had same-sex marriage in our state and they didn't out there. And this was over dinner, so I was kind of like looking more at my food than at him. And he was like, well, you don't have to get married, jokingly. But I was just like, oh, no, not for me. It just feels like a downgrading in general. It didn't even occur to me till later that he was probably like, this is it, she's coming out. He took it quite well, but again, I'm not gay, so. But I still never came out to him because, like, even though he's really not closed-minded, my mom is the more, like, liberal one, and if she didn't believe me, I didn't think my dad would. And even though my mom's more come around to it, I have already kind of made the decision to just never tell him. I don't really know how long I can get away with that, but again, it's not like I have a girlfriend I have to keep secret or something. Now there's all this, like, ace discourse bullshit on Tumblr, which I just, for the most part, try to stay out of. Like, I've already gotten in internet fights about whether or not asexual people should be considered part of the LGBT community, and I've gotten a non-hate for it and stuff. The fucked up thing about it is I don't really talk about my sexuality as much on my blog anymore. Like, I'm not closeted on Tumblr by any means, I just kind of stay out of it, and all of this accumulates into me not knowing if I should come out to my coworkers or just never bring it up. Like, I just switched departments at work and I'm working more directly with other people now, and I have these 2 coworkers who are gay, but I don't even know if I can come out to them. More people are learning about asexuality, but not everyone is cool with it. And like, this was kind of a stream of consciousness when I wrote the script, but in the process I was realizing that I think I actually have some internalized ace phobia. I thought about telling my coming out story before, but part of the reason I did it, I felt like I didn't really come out, and I thought I felt this way because of the casual way that I did it, but maybe it was because I felt like I didn't deserve to, because I didn't go through what gay people go through or even what less fortunate ace people go through. But I've still had people disregard my sexuality or try to convince me it's just a phase, or send me an anonymous message telling me that I'm part of the reason they hate all asexual people. And I am lucky enough to be in a relatively safe position, but I haven't come out to my dad. I've known I'm asexual for 5 to 6 years now, and there are still people I am too scared to come out to. Maybe the weight I feel over something I'm so sure of is why I won't even examine my gender identity. I put my gender in a box, and I put the box on a shelf, and I fully intend to let it collect dust and never open it. I don't want to deal with it. And I feel bad when I think about it, and I feel bad when I think about how I feel bad when I think about it, and it's all just so exhausting. This video doesn't really have a conclusion because I'm still in the middle of living it. I just wanted to tell my story. I want to turn my gender into a flea, a harmless little flea, and I'll put the flea in a box, and I'll put that box inside of another box, and I'll mail that box to myself, and when it arrives, I'll smash it with a hammer! Oh, all the chickens are out. Look at all those chickens. My neighbor has chickens. Like, I thought about, I'm getting a text message, fuck. Too many people want to hang out with me, and I'm trying to do vlogs and edit them. I'm too bothered.